Hey guys, it's Paranova back, also known as Jack again, and this is just going to be another update on the ZombieSurvival server that I'm going to be adding hopefully soon. Mostly what I've done is we can bring up the files real quick. Let me get into them. Basically what I've done is I have basically replaced all the essentials plugins with things that I made, basically. So just bare essentials, everything I wanted, just a one plugin, took what I wanted and just made it its own plugin. And I have yet to get rid of economy yet. I'm working on that right now. I'm stuck on like one little thing, then I'm ready for it. But the lag plugin, I don't know if I showed that last time. That's just like day and night. Mobs, I just made this one. This one is a thing where I can turn, it's a plugin that I can turn which mobs I want off. So basically, like it says here, if false, a mob won't spawn and a zombie will spawn in its place. If true, the zombie or the mob will spawn as normal. And then these are just the passive mobs. These are the hostile mobs, the nether mobs, the end mobs. And then this is if I want zombies to spawn or not. So if you turn this to false, anything you have set to false will not spawn. So like this wouldn't spawn at all. The zombie pigment wouldn't spawn like at all. And this is just if I want skeletons to burn in the day and if I want zombies to burn into the day. And what else? I've made a signs plugin that doesn't have a config file, but that's what I'm about to show here in a second. Let me just turn it to day. And basically the way you do it is you place down a sign, you type PNS, and then you do the command you want. We'll just do day. We'll just do day. And then you can type whatever you want on the end of this, and it won't affect anything. And it's going to make it all colorful and all the other stuff because it looks cool. And this sets the time to day! Exclamation point. And see, it's going to change it. It's going to say PNS signs successfully created. And if you click it, it's going to turn it to day. And my next update on that is going to be buy and sell signs. We can have shops, and maybe I'll just put that all into like a little pop-up menu. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. So everything else, we'll just go through all the mobs that spawn and whatnot. So zombies, skeletons, spiders, pigs, cows, ocelots, mushrooms, sheep, and zombie pigmen. Oh, I need that one. Alright, so sheeps, they don't spawn, they just spawn that. And zombie pigmen spawn a zombie also. Same thing with a creeper and a skeleton and a spider. And then pigs actually, okay, I thought they spawned. Cows do spawn. Ocelots don't spawn, and mushrooms don't spawn also. So your cows, your normal cows spawn. Oh, there we go. You might be wondering how you get string and to make wool and all other stuff. You'll have to kill a cave spider. They do spawn. I think they drop. I might have to turn spiders back on. But yeah, there's the lag plugin. If I didn't show that last time, it's every 4.5 minutes. I think I might have amped it up a little bit. I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, you still get money and stuff for that too. And I added TPS, but that doesn't work in the moment, and I'm trying to get to that. If you don't know what TPS stands for, it means ticks per second. So if you're lagging and you see over there that damn it, the TPS equals 20, that means it's your computer lagging. It has nothing to do with the server at all. Right now it doesn't work, and it's telling me that the server is not even doing anything. So I gotta fix that. And What's next? Bats do not spawn, I don't believe. Yep, spawns a zombie. Slimes, I know they don't. So, squids, I think they do spawn. Yeah. Squid spawn so you can get ink sacs and stuff like that. Blazes, don't remember. Nope, they spawn zombies. Silverfish, I believe, spawn zombies, so if you're mining around, you find a block that spawns silverfish, that will scare the living crap out of you. And they don't spawn in hordes anymore. I changed that. It's either they spawn in one, or they don't spawn at all. So, I figured, like, if they're replacing sheep spawn pretty close together anyway, so they're all going to be kind of in the same area. I might add hordes back. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So that's that. I don't know what else I have to add. I think really it's just been the economy plugin that's been taking up all my time at the moment, because most economy plugins, as most people know if you own a server, that they require Vault, and if that plugin isn't like integrated with Vault, Vault doesn't work with it. So obviously this plugin is not in Vault, so it's a little weird. It's kind of hard to do, and obviously there is a way to do it. There's always a way to do it, but I don't know how. So I'm just kind of learning along, trying to find out stuff to do, and yeah. This is basically the server. Oh, this is what I added. I knew there was something. I added your coordinates. You can type /chords, and if you see it over here, they might always press that. See it over here, it'll change chords every time you move. So, and then to get rid of it, you just type show. I think that works. Yeah, that works. Hide anything. Oh, that's hode. That's not hide. Yeah, that might be it. Let's go over to the files. Well, shit. Alright, hopefully that's recording that. Let me just make sure here. 1 second, guys. Alright, well, I think it's recording. If not, I'll just cut it out of the video. So yeah, this is all the plugins at the moment, and all the other plugins I made, all that stuff, but that's besides the point. And let's start off with mobs, because I've showed everything else, I believe. Oh. And alright, so basically what happens is, I'm not going to go over that, and then basically what's going to happen, it's going to check for the creature spawn, and the creature spawn event, all the other stuff. It's going to check if it's a villager. So if a villager spawns, then it's going to see if in the config, if villager is equal to false, and if it is, then it's going to spawn a zombie and cancel the villager spawn event. If it's equals true in the config, then it's not going to do anything. It's just going to spawn the zombie, or spawn the villager. And that's just basically the same thing throughout the whole plugin. It's just basically a copy and paste and change some names. It's a pretty easy plugin to make, and then you just got the burn in the day and stuff. It's going to check if something's combusting, and then checking the config. If it's false, then it's gonna cancel the event. If not, then it's gonna let it fucking burn. And sure. Let's see, signs plugin. Let's do this. This one took forever because I don't do signs very easily. So we're checking to change everything. So when you type PNS on the top of a sign. It's going to change it. It's going to add it to a hash map, which I need to take out because I'm not using that anymore. It's going to change it to Project Nova, and then it's going to change the line 1. It's going to get the string. It's going to get line 1. It's going to save it to a string called line 1. So basically, the string line 1 is equal to getting this. So instead of typing this, I'm going to type this. So it says event.setLine1. So it's setting the second line on the sign, because it goes 0 through 3, but there's 4, so I think equals out to 4, if that makes any sense. So it's getting the second line on there, which is actually line 1, and it's going to set it. This is just to trick it into thinking it's a I'm actually going to put something like that in there, but it doesn't work if I put it in there, if I make it colorful or not. So it's just going to then put line 1, so it's going to get the line, so whatever you put in there, it's just going to set the line as that. So this one is pointless, but these ones, it's just going to get the third line, and then it's going to set it to gold, and it's going to, so basically it's just changing the color of these two lines. And this one, it's really doing absolutely nothing, and it's just going to tell whoever replaced the sign. So it's going to get the player of the event, so whatever placed the sign, it's going to send the message, PNS sign successfully created. And then I'm probably going to take this out because it doesn't matter. This was the confusing part, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to explain this very well. So on a player interacting with a block, so if a player mines the block, if a player looks at the block, I believe too, I don't know, if the player clicks on a block, basically, it's going to get the action. If the action is equal to a right click on a block, then it's going to see if it's going to get the sign. It's going to get the state of the sign. It's going to see if the sign line 0 equals this, because that's what we changed the first line to. We're going to change it to that. See if you go up here, changes to that. And then if it does, then it's going to get the command string, and it's going to get the sign equal 1, and then it's going to event. It's going to get the player of the interact. It's going to say perform command. It's going to get line 1, so it's going to get the second line, and it's going to replace slash with nothing. That way it actually shows, like if we go back to the game and we change today first, we go back over here, you see how it says slash hide? Well, if in perform command, if you do slash, it's going to put 2 slashes, because perform command already has a slash when you do it. So it's like that. If I wanted to hide something and I put it in as perform command, I would put it like that, and it would automatically type it like that for the player. So I had to replace that with nothing. That way it would actually work. See, it's a little bit confusing, obviously, but on to the next. We're going to go ahead and open up the economy plugin, and come here. And then I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. We'll start with this. This is just checking if Vault's there, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use Vault or not. I might have to make my own or something. And this is where I'm stuck, right here. It seems to work right, but when you put it in for the scoreboards, it works perfectly fine. But I can't get it to work with the scoreboards, and I can't get it to get the account like in return as an integer or a double or whatever you want to call it. And I can't get it to return as an int. Other than that, this works perfectly fine. So if the command label, so if someone types /BAL, standing for balance, obviously, it's going to get the command sender, it's going to get the config, and it's going to get the name, it's going to return how much money they have. So it's the same thing if you use economy and you type /money. It's going to tell you money balance $42. But in this case you type /BAL, which is actually an essentials command. Balance is an essentials command, so it doesn't work too well when you don't have essentials. So we'll go back into here, and we're going to. This one was just for me, basically. This would probably never be used, but if it's remove, so this is basically just removing a player from the players folder, just so that I could restart as a new player. Basically, we can. We'll show it. I'll show it to you. All right. So if I type /remove Paranova XX, it's going. Oh yeah, I guess the plugin is not in here, so I can't show you. But basically, that's what you would do, and it would kick you. It would kick you, and it'd say kicked by an operator, and then it would find the file in the world/players folder. So this will obviously only work if you're in the world, which I could change that, but I don't think I need to. And it's just gonna delete the folder if it can. Yeah, and then there's eco, which would be adding the money to the player, and it's going to. Alright, so your command's gonna be, /eco para nova xx, and then how much money. So, it's also not gonna do anything, but that's the command. So it would be eco, so it'd be kind of like eco add or eco give, whatever you want to do, but I just put eco just for convenience. The player's name, and then how much money you want to give them. And that's pretty simple, and it's just gonna get the config, and it's gonna add how much is in that player's how much money that player has, and it's just gonna add how much you just put in there. So I saved the args1, which would be how much money you want, and I just saved it as I, and then I just put I there, and it's gonna add it to how much he already has, and then it's gonna say you have added how much you put to blah blah blah's account, and then and this right here, the system.out.println stuff. That's just for the console, so you can do it out of the console and everything. Take is the same exact thing, but it's gonna take the money away from them, so it's gonna get that thing. It's gonna be the exact same command, except for instead of typing eco, it's gonna be take. This is checking for the player. If a player joins, it's going to be if the player has played before equals false. So if the player has never played before, it's going to get the config, it's going to set their name, it's going to be equal to 30. So that's how much money you start with, and it's going to save the config. And then if they have played before, so if they're returning for the second time or the 5 millionth time, whatever, then it's just going to, this is kind of hard to do because it's kind of spread out, but basically it's just going to say in parentheses their name, and it's going to say has how much money they have in their account. That's basically what it's going to say. And then this was the account thing, which I can't get to work, and this is just setting up economy, like I said. So I think that's it. I'm not sure. We can go back and look in all the scoreboards that I've added. I've added some more scoreboards. So this is the main scoreboard, like you guys have all seen, and it says the mobs, kills, deaths, balance, all that crap. And this is where I'm trying to get that account to work, and it doesn't work. So, I mean, it says it all works fine, but when you try and type /show, it will give you an error, all the other crap. So this is the second scoreboard, and it's just showing you, it's going to get the player that typed, or the player that is using this method, it's going to get their X, and it's going to do all that stuff. So if you have any idea what I'm talking about right now, you would be saying, well, that's not going to keep going every single time the player moves or whatever happens. It's just going to tell them their coordinates at that moment. So what I did was I created an on move thing, and I created a hash map that's called chords, and when you type /chords, it adds you to this hash map. And if you're added to the hash map, it's going, every time you move, it's going to update that scoreboard. And we go back. Sorry guys, 1 second. Alright. Had to sneeze there for a second. This is just a thing I'm working on. This is just the separate TPS scoreboard, basically. So I know it's just the TPS that's working. And I'm just trying to get that to work, and it's really not. As you can see, TPS, no working. This is back to the commands. So this is show, and it's going to, every time you type show, it's going to remove you if you're in the chords and TPS, any of that stuff. And it's going to say, you can show in the scoreboard, get the config, and if they haven't done that yet, then they're going to get the mob kills, the deaths, all that crap. And then if you type hide, yeah, same thing, delete you. And, 1 second. Door opened. Alright. And if you type /chords, which this is new, it's going to, if chords contains name, so if it contains your name, it's going to remove you. It's going to clear your slot. It's going to make it so the sidebar disappears. It's not going to be there anymore. If it doesn't contain your name, it's going to add you. It's going to remove you from TPS, just so you can use any command. It's going to set that. So that's about all. I'll see you later.